Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, has passed. I have many, many people messaging me, asking me what the implications are. What are we going to do, Tyler? Everyone comes to me now, especially after they figured out I wasn't a crazy nut job after I told them that Trump would win 4 years ago. I am not telling them anything this time around. Whenever they ask me, I just say, I don't know. Don't ask me. Because I don't want to be involved anymore. Because what's happened now is they figured out, well, they probably still think I am a nut job, but they now think there might be a method to my madness. They might think that there is something to him. Maybe he has an inside scoop as to what's going on. By the way, I'm working on the lighting for these videos. You know, when I started this show, this podcast, whatever you want to call it, I thought there's probably going to be many challenges. You know, YouTube, filming it, streaming it. Streaming it is still a challenge. I'm still working on that. Audio, got to get the right level. What should I talk about? What should the themes be? But I never really thought that the lighting would be such a problem. My face always looks whiter than I actually am. I look like a ghost. I have been outside for much of the quarantine in the spring and throughout the summer to try and work on my tan so I look good. And this is what I end up looking like. Anyways, I shouldn't be so vain. But if you watch these videos and you think, why in the last video did he look orange and now he looks like he's about to vomit? Well, it's because lighting turns out to be a very hard thing to get right. Anyway, enough of that. Oh, I also added Abe Lincoln here. Say hello, Abe. You'll be a part of the show. And this man here is going to be a big part of the show just because of what's going on. So, look forward to that. I also am noticing that the desk isn't centered. Okay, now that that's all cleared up, you're probably, if you're still watching, thank you. Okay, Ruth Bader Ginsburg has passed. I was thinking about not doing this video so soon because I don't really like to make it political so short a time after she's passed. It feels a little wrong. But everyone's talking about it. It's the Supreme Court. I don't know if she would mind. I think she would want a robust discussion. I don't want to speak for her. It looks like some Democrats are already trying to speak for her. She wanted this, she wanted that. She, on her deathbed, she requested this. Maybe she did. I'm not going to argue. Maybe she did. But I don't know if her requesting that she be replaced by another president means that we have to wait for that to happen. Does it? Do we have to wait just because she said that? Ann Coulter made an interesting point. On Twitter, she said, if she really wanted to be replaced by a Democrat president, why didn't she just call it quits when she was 80 and Obama was president? You could have given Obama a huge victory. You could have put someone on the court who you wanted to be on the court. You could have consulted with the White House, but no, they had to stretch your way out. I don't want to be too critical of her. I know she just passed. As a matter of fact, I wanted to add that she was best friends, or at least very good friends, with Justice Antonin Scalia, which shows you people can get along. People can enjoy each other, even if they disagree. Most people, I don't know if they enjoy me. Most people who disagree with me. But anyhow, I thought that was always a nice thing about her and about Justice Scalia. So what's going to happen? Back to my original point, everyone's asking me. Actually, I'm kind of exaggerating that. Everyone's asking. But it's a huge topic. What's Trump going to do? What should he do? You know, my opinion on what he should do, if I take all the emotion out of it about her just passing, my initial thought is, look, if winning the presidency doesn't give you power, what is the point of winning the presidency, right? Part of winning the presidency is you get to appoint Supreme Court justices. Now, I know Mitch McConnell held up Merrick Garland. Now, it should be pointed out that when that happened, it was a Republican Congress, it was a Republican Senate, and a Democrat in the White House, a bit of a different situation. My advice to the president, you are the president. Appoint someone who you want. This is what the Constitution says. We can't be too emotional about this stuff. Okay? She passed when she passed. People can't control when they move on into the other realm. They can control when they retire, though. And she chose to stretch it out. And we're in the situation now. So, my advice to the president, if you put someone on the Supreme Court who pleases the people who... Remember, there were a lot of people who voted for Trump who weren't fans of his vulgarity. They weren't fans of his style. But they picked him and they voted for him because they thought he would appoint Supreme Court justices that were conservative. And he's already done it twice. And if he puts 3 on there, you can bet... Remember all those people who, they're Cruz fans maybe? They just can't warm up to Trump, so maybe they just stayed home. I think there were a lot of those people. I think Access Hollywood tape really forced a lot of people to say, look, I can't do this. I'm not voting for her either. Even though I mocked people in my last show about not voting, if you have that I can see being a justifiable reason. So that I would understand. These people... If Trump puts a 3rd Supreme Court justice on the bench before the election, he's going to get a lot of votes out of that. I'm here to tell you. Now, there was another theory, a very interesting theory, which I obviously hadn't thought of because I am not a legal scholar. I am nowhere close to that. But the article I read last night was in the New Criterion. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but very, very interesting article. The title is, A Recess Appointment for the Ginsburg Seat, ? It is by James Pearson on the president's options for replacing Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Basically, he suggests that Trump may be able to find a middle ground here. By the way, this is not what I would suggest. I would suggest just go forward with it. But this was something to think about. There is precedent for appointing a Supreme Court justice who is kind of a stand-in for the time being while there's a recess. So he could put someone on the court. They wouldn't be confirmed. He could appoint somebody, and then they would wait until the election, and then after the election, then they could be confirmed. Something to think about. I'm not going to read the whole article to you because that would bore you, but you can go check it out at the Criterion. Let me just see the name of the author once again. Yes, the New Criterion. .com. A Recess Appointment for the Ginsburg Seat by James Pearson. P-I-E-R-E-S-O-N. Very interesting article. You might be interested in reading that. So I don't think we can be too emotional about this. I think if Trump gets it, it can only be a win. It can only be a huge win. There are a lot of people who, and we have a hard time recognizing this because we are so interested, at least, a lot of people I talk to, people I watch, people I discuss things with, people who might watch this. They are super interested in all this stuff. But a lot of people, it's like, oh, Trump put another justice in the Supreme Court, huh? Oh, that's pretty good. Good for him. That's tough. It's so, a lot of voters don't look into the specifics. All the stuff about, oh, this person has this legal record and they stood up for this and they don't like this. That's all important, by the way. I'm not diminishing that in any way. But a lot of voters don't really care about that. Now, I would recommend that he put a woman on the court. I think that it's not going to win you any votes on the left, but it would show that, look, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, no matter you agree with her or not, that's what she was for, right? She was all about the advancement of women in society. I look at all the Instagram stories from friends of mine, girls who did not know who Ruth Bader Ginsburg was until 2 nights ago. Maybe that's a bit mean. Now they're going to say, oh, Tyler thinks that girls don't know anything about politics. Look, let me put it this way. if there were 20 girls who shared a Ruth Bader Ginsburg tribute, there were some of them who I know for sure were huge fans. Actually, one I know because she always posted about her, was a huge fan. But there were many who posted who it's kind of like, if I mentioned the name Ruth Bader Ginsburg to them 2 days ago, what would their reaction be? Would it be, oh, she's such a hero? Or would it be, wait, who? Anyway, so you're not going to please those people. But it is true that that's what she was all about. So I think it should be a woman. I am not for all this stuff, but we have to pick a woman vice president like Biden did. But in this circumstance, probably it should be, right? He's appointed 2 men to the court. Let's find a qualified woman. Let's find a qualified Latina. I don't like to play identity politics. I don't. But let's see the Democrats rake her through the coals for a month. Let's see them do to her what they did to Kavanaugh. Are they going to accuse her of raping a frat boy at a college party? Is that what they're going to do? So I think if Trump were to be smart, he would go forward with this. He would pick a very accomplished, scholarly woman. Now, there is Amy Barrett. I believe that's her name too. That would be fine too. But the Latina part would be just a neat little added political advantage. And you're probably saying, well, this is not about politics. This is about the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court cannot be political. Look, everything is political right now, okay? There's an election coming. So, and if he does that, I can't see it hurting him. I can only see it helping. And it would be good. It would be good for the country. You could say, look, I'm the president. I understand that Ruth Bader Ginsburg wanted another president to replace her. It would be one thing if she got into a car accident. I feel like I'm pushing the boundary here. Let me articulate it in a way I think would be kind enough. If she had passed very unexpectedly, that point would probably have more merit. She would want someone replacing her if she had, say she had 20 more years in the court. She would want someone to replace her who would be a lot like her. But there were many years leading up to this where she had a chance to say, you know what, okay, Democrat president just got reelected. Let's say 2013, Democrat president just got reelected. Maybe this is a good time. But she waited, and now Trump is president. No one thought he would be president, and he is now. And it's his obligation to nominate someone when a Supreme Court justice passes or retires. It's in the Constitution. It's his job to do it. So if he reneges on that, isn't he kind of not doing his job? People sent him here for this, among other things. But this was one of the big things. Do you remember him talking? Here's my list of Supreme Court justices. I remember last presidential debate. Trump, I will nominate what did he say? They will have a conservative bent. They will be pro-life. They will be great scholars. I remember that. And people voted for him because of that. So if he were to say, you know what, now I'm going to wait. I'm going to punt this until the election's all figured out. Isn't he neglecting his obligations as a president? That's the only real way I see it, actually. What do you think, Abe? Trump always says that the only president who is more presidential than him is Abraham Lincoln. Put these two guys together. I'm sorry if I'm sniffing my nose. By the way, negative COVID test. I am happy to report. I will tell a story in the next episode of all the hoops I had to jump through to get my result. But I'm not going to complain. I'm very grateful that I'm not positive. It's not a time to complain because a lot of people are in a lot of pain. I understand that. So I'm not going to be complaining about my negative test. Oh, I didn't get it quick enough. So, okay, there's the most presidential president, and here's the second most presidential president of all time, right here, side by side, just in case you were wondering. Okay, that's it. I'm sure we'll be continuing to talk about the passing of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Prayers to her family. I'm not going to talk about her legacy. I think it's too soon for all that. But I hope I didn't seem too crass in talking about the political implications of all this. But look, it is what it is. So, and that same thing happened with when Antonin Scalia passed as well. So we'll see what happens. Those are my thoughts on it. I'm sure there will be more time to discuss this this issue. But I hear there are Democrats saying if they try to do it, if they try to push this through, we are going to burn it down. We are going to burn every city in America down. It's like you guys already are doing that. So was that a threat? Anyway, that's all. Please subscribe. My thoughts, I hate saying thoughts and prayers, it's so weird, but my thoughts are with the Ginsburg family. She obviously had a huge impact on a lot of people. She served a long time on the Supreme Court, a very accomplished life, and her legacy will be remembered for what it is, no matter who she is replaced with. So, but I do think it is the president's obligation to replace her, even if there's an election coming. And before you say, oh, hypocrite, this is McConnell tried to block Obama's pick, I do think it's a little different there being a Republican Congress and a Democrat president. Look, again, you win the presidency and you can't do anything, and then you win the Senate and you can't use that power, you can't wield it for anything. What is the point of running and winning then? If you run and win and then people say, oh, well, you can't do that right now. You have to wait till... You can't do that right now. You have to wait till we win, and then we'll do it. Like, what is that about? So, all right. My thoughts have been made clear enough. I'm sure we will talk about this a bit more. Go check out that article, The New Criterion. It's something to think about. Please subscribe. Please comment. Please like. We will see you soon.